What's up, everybody, and welcome to day 23 of Foundation and our second day of our test week. I want you to think about how things went yesterday in that day one of test week and how much more energy it took to really perform every single rep. If you turned on for performance reps every single rep, that takes way more energy. You get hyper focused as you do in performance reps of, oh, that was an error, oh, that was louder than I meant to. And you might get a little nervous if you can really put the pressure on yourself. So think about how that went. It takes more energy. See if you can get ahead of that today and anticipate those errors. So take that dedication, take that energy, take that effort, take that focus, and let's apply it again here on day 2 of our test week, and let's take care of it. What's up, everybody? You ready to dive into double strokes? I'm super excited to get through this exercise. We are starting at a slow 80 beats per minute and we're working all the way up to 90 beats per minute. Here's a list of things to think about as you're working on this exercise. Okay? Don't forget, choose a goal of what you're working on through this exercise. Understanding 16th notes, that's a totally reasonable one, a goal to work on through this. Getting your feet to line up with your hands through this exercise. It's a challenge until you get really comfortable and you just have, you have an internal metronome within you. All right? But if you're ready, I'm ready to go here. So let's start at 80 beats per minute. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. Very good. 2, again, 2, max your heights. Very good. 2 more times here. And 1, 2, here we go. Very good. 2, and we're last time at this tempo. Really good job. How did that feel? Hopefully it felt nice in control, and hopefully you're getting comfortable with this pattern. Even if you're not perfectly with your feet yet, or you're not totally understanding 16th notes, it's okay to just repeat the pattern for a while until you start to understand. You hear the metronome, you put your feet with the metronome, and you play your hands the best you can. And you think about it. You learn how to count. You spend time understanding the rhythms. If you need to count out loud, then do it. That's good for you. One thing to think about, and hopefully that you've already noticed this, but after we go through the double beats on each hand, we have that big open 16th note roll, right? How much slower is that than really what we're playing? right? Our hands are moving in eighth note patterns, right? One, right? It's much slower than it was before because we're moving, right? So, and our right hand plays quarter notes. 1 E and 2 E, right? 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. It's all 16th notes still, but the macro rhythm, if you go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, super slow, right? So make sure you adjust to that. Make sure you're efforting to keep your heights as high as possible. This is a chop building exercise, just like a lot of the ones that we're working on right now. It's your ability to get your hands stronger and to build those muscles up. All right, that's a ton. Way too much talking for me. We're moving to 82. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Very good. 2 and 1, 2, again, go. Very good. 2 more times. 1, 2, ready, go. Nice and legato. Very good. Last time here, and 1, 2, here we go. Really good job. One thing to think about, there are only a handful of downstrokes in this whole exercise. Everything else is up and rebounded. Down, down, right? So only really 2 techniques to think about this entire time is this is much more about changing your rhythm and understanding how to play up nice and rebounded strokes. There's not a ton to think about as far as different types of strokes. This is really working on your ability to get 2 perfect identical notes in a row. All right? One last point before we move on. See if you can make your second note louder than your first. Okay? A lot of times people get in the habit of going, right? That means you're not rebounding the stick, right? It's super important that you get that second note as loud, if not louder. Work to make it louder than the first note. It's almost impossible to do, but if you can do it, your roll is going to sound that much better. Because if you don't get those notes even, it'll sound like, and that's not what we're going for, right? That could be something. That could be kind of cool. That's a different skill, but that's not what we're working on. We want to have right? That's what we're aiming towards. And the way we get there is by having 2 super even 16th notes. We're at 84. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. Very good. 2, and again, 2, same tempo. Very good. 2 and 2 more times here. Very good. Last time here, and 1, 2, energy up. Nice job. I'm not going to talk much because I talked a lot between 82 and 84, but I just want to say, did you forget about your tacit hands? Are those things floating off into outer space while you're working on those double strokes, or are they still nice and ready to play in playing position? Of course you didn't forget about it because you're awesome, but maybe somebody forgot. That's all right. We're jumping to 86. Give it another shot. A little bit brighter. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. Very good. 2 and 1, 2, again, go. Very good. 2 and 1, 2, 2 more times. And 1, 2, last time. Nice job. All right, we got to jump to 88 beats per minute, but one thing to think about before we do is, are all of your little double beats, your chunks of 16th notes, do they sound the same? I know we talked about having 2 in a row that sound the same. We don't want it to sound like, we want it to sound like, all right, but does that sound the same, the first one, as the last one? And how about your right hand to your left hand? How do those sound? It's another thing to think about. I'm sure you're doing great. I'm sure you're killing it. I gotta throw it out there. Just in the off chance. You never know. 1, 2, 88. Here we go. And 2, and again, 2, ready, go. Very good. And 2, and 2 more times. Here we go. Very good. 2, last time here. Then we're bumping it up. Very good. Check it out. We're at 100. Just kidding. We're at 90 beats per minute. We're at our goal tempo. We'll get to 100 very soon. It will take no time to get there. But until then, we're at 90. You got to hit 90 first before you go to 100. That'd be crazy. Here we go. 4 times here. 1, and 2, and 1, 2, 90 beats a minute. And 2, and again, 2 even 16ths. And 2, and 2 more times. Here we go. And 2, very good. 1 more time here. Yeah, nice job. Couple things to think about as you're working on the skill set is if you're practicing and you're wondering, am I playing perfect 16th notes? Right? You can put on a metronome to subdivide 16th notes. You can make it sound like. Right? We can absolutely do that. One of the things I like working on is the ability to control space and understand where the downbeat is. That's why I don't have those subdivisions on. But you can fill them in if you want. Right? That's a really good way to get to practice with a buddy and figure out if you're playing perfectly in time as you think you are. But until then, we're jumping to 94 beats a minute. A little bit brighter. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 1, 2, ready, go. Very good. And 2, and again, 2, nice and even. Very good. 2, and again, 2, 2 more times. Stay relaxed. Very good. And 2, and last time here. Very good. All right, you know what we got to do? We got to drop it back down to 90, and we got to get our performance reps. All right, we're doing 2 reps here, right at our goal tempo of 90 beats per minute, and we're going for no errors. Think about your hand transitions. Think about those isolated downstrokes. Think about making your doubles sound exactly the same, not rushing when we get to the little open roll at the end. Tons to think about. And max out your heights. This is chop building, right? 1 and 2 and 2 performance reps. Go. And 2, and again, 2, last time. Yeah, nice job. Way to go. I hope that went really well for you. If there's still things that you know you need to work on in this, then run it back. Start it back at 80 beats per minute. go check out the intro video again and work your way back up so you understand what you're doing incorrectly or just how to make it a little bit better. But if that went really well for you, you're ready to get to the next level, then I will see you in the next video. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Paradiddles. Let's take a look at all the important things that are worth thinking about as we're working through Paradiddles. Make sure you know what you're working on. Obviously, we're going to increase the tempo, but you need to have your own goal. You know what your tendencies are when you go from singles, you know what your tendencies are from accent taps, and you know what your tendencies are at double beat. This is going to combine all of those skills. So if you have little errors or things that you're working on, they will show up here. They will absolutely show up here, and you'll find some new things show up here as well. So make sure you pay attention to what you know you need to work on. But otherwise, anything else we're talking about? No, let's get into it. Let us start. We're going from 80 beats per minute to 90 beats per minute, and we're working on paradiddles. We're going to play this exercise 3 times, okay? Unless I forget and we play it more or less, but generally speaking, we're going to play it 3 times through. And we're also going to do some little surprises in there. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but you'll see, and they'll make sense when we get there. All right, you ready? Let's do it. Learn the music as fast as you can if you don't have this memorized already from the intro video. Memorize it quickly. I'm sure you will, but the music's down there just in case. Here we go. 1 and 2 and paradiddles. Here we go. Very good. 2 and again, 2 more times here. Very good. And last time, here at this tempo. Very good. All right, let's talk about it for a minute. This is super slow on purpose. This is really slow, and I really want to give you a chance to understand how your hands feel while you're playing this exercise. What does a good downstroke feel like? What does a good tap stroke feel like? That's what we're working on in the first 2 phrases, right? Make sure you're thinking about that and memorize that, because that doesn't change the entire exercise. We could break this down further just to go quarter notes. We could be kind of monotonous and kind of tedious, but what's not monotonous is going straight to 8th notes. And making these feel exactly the same as, yeah, that should feel identical. And then even still, when we slide those individual lefts or individual rights, this part, this is your constant. This is your home base. So if you can feel that, especially once we get to paradiddles, if you can feel that, if you can feel those tap strokes, those clean downstrokes, and then controlling the other notes in between and afterwards, then you're in great shape. So if you can do it at this really slow tempo, you're gonna be so far ahead of the curve when we get to a real fast one, because you're going to have the exact same control. All you got to do is work on speed and some little tweaks along the way. But it's super important to get really, really good control here. All right? A million things to think about there, but truly, There's a million more reps to go. All right, so let's keep it rolling. We're at 82 now. All right, very small adjustment. 3 times. And 1, 2, and 1, 2, ready, go. Very good. And 2, and control your wrist strokes, not too much arm. Very good. And 2, and 1, 2, here we go. Very good. And 2, last time here. 2, ready, go. Very good. All right. Again, because this is so slow, there is so much space to control, especially when you just hear the space. Just taking out that 1/16th note partial makes this feel like endless amounts of space. That's not quite as much space to control because you're just missing the E. But between the and the downbeat of the next hand, it just feels like an eternity, at least to me. So, I don't know, I'm feeling really control on these quarter notes. So I'm really trying to rely on my feet, right? Don't forget about your feet. This is going to get you all the way through these slow tempos, but gives you lots of time to think about how your hands feel. One thing other to think about, and then we got to move on. We just have to. Is you make sure you're leading with the wrist. Sometimes when we get into lots of open spaces, people may have some tendencies. I know that I have the tendency, I like breaking my wrist. I don't know why. It's just when I started to learn drums, that felt good to me. And when I play on the drum set, I tend to break my wrist for no reason. And it's something I have to constantly think about. So when I'm working here, I want to make sure that I'm leading from my wrist. I'm leading from the beat of the stick, I'm turning my wrist, and then my arm moves up, right? So whatever it is for you, that's just one example that I have to work on sometimes, and I can feel that when there's extra space because I don't necessarily, my instinct isn't always to just turn my wrist. Sometimes I like to be loose, which can work, but it also leads to a broken wrist, which leads to less control, and your stick is pointed down. It's crazy. It's a bad habit. I know. I've always kind of had to think about it. Whatever it is for you, make sure you know what you are working on, and don't be easy on yourself. I gotta turn my wrist. You gotta turn your wrist, and we gotta get to 84. Here we go. Making a little jump here. 1 and 2 and 1, 2, ready, go. Very good. And 2, listen to consistency. 2, here we go. Very good. And 2. And last time at this tempo. Yeah, all right. 3 reps goes by fast. This exercise is just a little bit longer. Normally I like to do 4 reps in between, but don't worry, we're gonna get plenty of reps. All right, we're at the midway point of where we're headed. We just did 84 beats per minute. I'm gonna do a little surprise action here. We're gonna go to 85 beats per minute, and I wanna just play 8 paradiddles 2 times, okay? We're not working on this skill so that we can work up to paradiddles. If you're doing some groove and you want to go, hold on, let me do a paradiddle real quick. Right? You don't have time. You just need to bust out a paradiddle. Whatever you're doing. No matter what world you're in for drumming, you need to just be able to do the skill set. So we need to practice that. I want to do a little mini test here of 85 beats per minute. I want to do 8 paradiddles just to see where we're at. Can we jump right into? All right, that's what we're going to do. I'll count us off. 8 paradiddles, we'll do it twice. 1, 2, and 1, 2, ready, go. Very good. That's it. All right, now let's do it again. Just see where we're at. And 1, 2, 8 paradiddles. Very good. All right, this is just a check-in, just to see how it feels, just to see where we're at and where we need to work on. All right, with that in mind, we're jumping 86, back to the builder exercise, working on all those skill sets. And 1, 2, and 86. Here we go. Very good. 2, and again, 2, ready, go. Very good. Last time here, and 1, 2, ready, go. Very good. All right. I want to talk about sound quality real quick and how that affects your hands. So when you're playing these downstrokes and then a nice tap stroke in the very beginning of this exercise, does this sound and feel the same as when you get to this? You can have kind of a tight grip. You can play with poor technique in order to control that accent tap pattern, especially because we're changing hands. You can get away with poor technique there. Where you can't get away with poor technique is in the actual paradiddle. You can kind of get away with it here, but not really. That doesn't even let you kind of get away with it. You can kind of get away with it here. You can be tight, you can over squeeze with your hands, you can not be relaxed, but you can't, the last 2 patterns, it's just impossible to play double strokes if you're not legato and rebounded and controlling. So there's 2 clues. You can feel how it feels in your hand. I like how I'm pretending like I don't have a stick in my hand. You can You can know what it feels like in the hand, and you can also listen to the sound. Right? You know the difference in the sound. We talked about this before. Over squeezing versus, nice and rebounded, nice and open, and letting the stick breathe and make the sounds it's intended to make. So, how does it feel? How does it sound? But you already know all that. 88, here we go. Let's go 1 and 2 and 3 times that, 88 beats per minute. Very good. 2 already sounds better. 2, ready, go. Very good. 2, last time here. 2, again, go. Yeah, really good job. That's a relatively big tempo increase from 80 to 88 beats per minute. You might actually feel a difference from that. You don't always feel a difference. Sometimes you can, and this is definitely one of those times. All right, we're flying through this thing. We're already at our goal tempo of 90 beats per minute. Let's do a handful of reps here and see where we're at. Let's see how this feels. 1, 2, and 1, 2, ready, go. Very good. And 2, and again, 2, ready, go. Very good. Last time here, and 1, 2, ready, go. Very good. So one thing to think about as we head into our bonus tempo here is when you're playing just the eighth notes in the beginning and throughout the whole exercise, can you think mentally of the paradiddle, the full 16th note? Can you hear that? It might make your hands do the exact same pattern. It might help you relax a little bit, especially in the beginning parts when when you're inserting those E's with the lefts and the right. Right? It might just help you, remind you, whatever it might do to trigger your brain how to relax and how it should feel at your end goal, right? You don't want to change techniques. You want this to feel the same throughout the entire exercise. So start to notice where things feel different and figure out what you can do to replicate that paradiddle feeling. All right? Cool. Now, jump into our bonus tempo. We're at 94 beats per minute. We're going to make a little jump here just to test the waters, dip our toes in to see where we're headed. Let's go. 1, and 2, and a few times at our bonus tempo. Very good. And 2, and again, 2, ready, go. Very good. Last time here, and 1, 2, ready, go. Yeah, cool. This is one of those times where the bonus tempo is almost like a relief, like, oh my goodness, I don't have to focus so much on being perfectly in time because it's so slow. But it's such good practice. Like, this is a skill you could come back to if you're flying through Paradiddles at 200 beats per minute one day, and then come back to this and just see, like, oh my gosh, how much control this takes. Space is one of the most challenging things to control in drumming. Absolutely, like the space between the notes. Really hard. All right, you know what we're doing. We're going to do some performance reps. We're dropping to 90 beats per minute. All I'm doing is thinking about space between lyrics that I could have just put in there. That's a Dave Matthews Band song, and if you don't know that song, go listen to it because it's great. Anyway, 90 beats per minute is our goal tempo here, and we're going to do 2 performance reps. I want you to get into the mindset of what your performance is, whether your performance is excited and animated and really kind of being an actor, or are you really stoic and you don't need to do all that? Are you locked in? All right. All that, we're at 90 beats per minute, 2 times. No errors, because you don't have to. That's right. 1, and 2, and 1, 2, ready, go. Very good. Last time here, and 1, 2, do your best. Yeah, very good. All right. Did you think I forgot? I didn't forget. We got to do the same thing that we did at 85 beats per minute at our goal tempo of 90. We're playing Paradiddles right away. I want to do 2 extra performance reps of 8 Paradiddles. Let's see if we can do it. That's what we're working on. Let's see if we can really apply this right away. No builder. 8 Paradiddles. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Here we go. Very good. 2, and 1, 2. Last time here. Very good. All right, so that's where we're at. That's somewhat of a representation of your ability to play Paradiddles at 90 beats per minute. If it went really well, that's super exciting. Then you're probably anxious and ready to get from 90 to 100, and we're going to go there next. But if it didn't go so well, you might want to back it up. You might want to realize, like, I just didn't have the control to play 8 perfect Paradiddles yet. I changed my hands. It doesn't quite rebound the way that I want it to. I'm stopping the stick and squeezing too much so that it's hard to control at the lower end. Whatever it happens to be, then run it back. Watch this video again and do it as many times as you need to in order to get you to where you want to be. But if you're ready to go to the next one, I will see you there. Thanks for playing along. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for playing along. If you liked that video, please let me know down below. Let me know why you liked it. Let me know what you're working on so I can make more things exactly for what you need. And if you didn't like it, keep it to yourself. No, if you didn't like it, please let me know why down below, because I want to make videos that you need. What skill sets do you need? What would make you better faster? Let me know. And if you want to get some real feedback, tag me in videos. Send me an email, tag me on Instagram, tag me on YouTube. I want to give you comments. I want to make this a community, and I want us to all get better at drums faster. All right, I'll see you in the next one.